Welcome to the kickoff for the Startup Capital Boot Camp. And I cannot tell you how important this boot camp is to women all over the world as we work to build our businesses and to not just grow and build our businesses, but to be competitive. I think that we've all been taught that we have to undergo this arduous bootstrapping process to build our businesses. And while nothing is easy, everything requires some effort. I think we're missing out on the fact that there are millions and millions of dollars in a wide variety of shape, forms, and fashions of startup capital that is available to us to not just grow our businesses, but to birth our ideas, to implement our concepts, and to take our businesses to 6 and 7 figures and beyond. So if you're here, you are in the right place. With that being said, my community last year was able to get over $1 million in startup capital. It wasn't pretty. It was some stops and starts. It was some learning lessons. We sometimes we fell down, but we got up. But we got the money. And when it's all said and done, that is what matters. So during this Startup Capital Boot Camp, and Stephanie, if you can keep an eye on the chat for me, I don't think people realize once you start a presentation, it's very, very hard to multitask. But during this Startup Capital Boot Camp, you're going to find that there are so many hidden sources of money. And the purpose of this boot camp is to educate you as to how to uncover some of the things that you know about, and even to encourage you to take a journey to learn more about the things that you don't know about. So just a little bit about my background. My official title is Reverend Dr. Danielle Patterson Winningham. I'm a former JP Morgan Chase Vice President, Master Life and Master Business Coach. I've been in this digital marketing space for over 10 years, been blessed to make millions of dollars doing what I love to do, which is help women build profitable online businesses. And over the years, I've seen women who wanted to get help, women who needed to get help, but women who did not feel that they could afford the help. And rightly so. The mass majority of women are underpaid. The mass majority of women are single household earners. They're head of households. Women are the caregivers. We're caring for our parents. We're caring for our children. That cost. We're the sole bill payers. And so there's so many factors that can inhibit a woman from being able to build an online business. But we also have to realize that it is a privilege and an honor to be in a space where you can build a multi-million-dollar business from your kitchen table. My mother didn't have that opportunity. My grandmother didn't have that opportunity. In order for them to make extra money, they had to leave the house, leave their kids, and go clock in somewhere. So the fact that you are sitting here at a space and time where the sky is literally the limit when it comes to your earnings, and that nothing can hinder your earnings but you and your thought process. This is a great space to be. So before we get into the strategy, I just wanted to take some time, and each night I'm going to be speaking with some of the people in my community who've been blessed to get startup capital. And part of what they're going to share is, yeah, it wasn't a cute story, but I got the money. And sometimes you're going to get the money and it ain't going to be cute. But did you get it? And what are you willing to do? And that's going to be part of my presentation tonight. What are you really willing to do to take yourself and your earnings to the next level? So with that, I want to introduce Ms. Verlin. Ms. Verlin, can you introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Coach. You know, I have to start off with that gratitude. Thank you so much for yet another chance to sit here on your platform and share. Good evening, everyone. My name is Verlyn Smith Randolph, and I always say I am the rose of audacity. I help women. It was a desire of mine. Because, see, we spoke before I go there. I help women to just live their best life, whatever their best is. Because your best is different from my best, and my best is different from your best, and on and on and on. But see, it was in that low place, and I couldn't see the yellow. I couldn't see the sunshine. But it was that thing in my belly that said, Lord, if you get me up out of this dark space, this dark place, this empty place, I will help another. And he heard me. And that's what I do. And I'm going to help her. I will help you to emerge from adversity to audacity right in the full bloom. I thank Coach for having me. She know how passionate I get and emotional about my brand. It's because I knew where I was. And I didn't even know where to seek help. I didn't even know help was available. Because people tell you, just get over it. You'll be all right. Just get over it. That's easier said than done. But I help women to understand. First, they have to understand and have an open mind that help is available. I'm going to extend my hand and meet her halfway. And we're going to go on this journey. And I help her to emerge into full bloom. That's why the hashtag is Bloom Baby Bloom, because you are the you that you have. You're all the you that you have, and you have to be your first responder. You want better? It's possible, but we have to go get it. Better is just across the bridge. I welcome you, and I thank you, Coach, for having me, but you know how I can go, because we need the help.
So I'm gonna let you go. But let's talk to them about your journey with Startup Capital.
Okay.
And I'm gonna talk to you guys because when I came to my community about Startup Capital, at first it was about personal credit and business credit. It was about personal credit and business credit. It was before the pandemic. Yeah. And I said, guys, you know what? We got to get our credit right. Whatever puts you in the position that you're in now, it is not right. We got to get it right. Because believe it or not, your credit is your first line of defense against Startup Capital. Why would you spend your cash when you can use your credit? Now, I know a lot I want to hear that, but that's true. And big businesses will intentionally borrow money. Because if I'm Amazon and I can borrow money at 3% and leave my investment money where it is at 10%, I'm earning 7%, even though I'm borrowing money. So one of the first things I realized is that while I spent all this time focusing on helping my clients learn how to earn more, they still didn't understand money as a vehicle. And that's what this Startup Capital Boot Camp is going to help you be able to do. Learn to understand money as a vehicle for you to be able to do the things that you need to do and not saying, I can't afford. So once we finish I'll let you take it from there. Go ahead, Verlyn, it's your story. I'm going to let you tell it.
Well, when you brought up the credit, I'm going to just start with February last year. Prior to that, Coach said, something's coming. Something's coming. She called us in, get in the room now, da-da-da-da-da. We all just gathered in the Zoom room, and she told us something was coming. She didn't know what, but she wanted us to be prepared. And she told us not to panic, and we didn't. But the thing was, it's the unknown. We didn't know what she was referring to because she really didn't know. But she kept saying, something's coming. And I want you all to be prepared. February, she said, we're going to get our credit straight. Whether you had good credit already or not, we're going to get in this class, and we're going to do this class for 16 weeks, and we're going to get our credit straight. And she drilled us, and we had homework, and we filed papers, and we disputed. We did everything she told us to do. Then after that, those who did not have their business licenses or their credentials in order for their business, she helped us with that. We still didn't know where this was leading to because she told us something was coming, that something came, and it affected everybody. But us in the community, we didn't suffer because she gave us the tools and she gave us the direction, and we moved just like she said. So with the credit, getting our credit, personal credit, then to build our business credit, to get our documents in order. If we did not have them, we had to go get them. And we had a certain length of time, excuse me, to get it together. COVID came and we didn't miss a beat because we did what she asked us to do. Whether it came to freezers, bills being paid, food, utilities,
Toilet tissue.
We was
Baby, we had toilet tissue, we had paper towels, we had it all.
We had it all. We didn't miss a beat. If this sister needed this, then we worked to get it. If that one needed, we worked to get that. We were online together, seeing who could get what first, and we shared it. But I'm saying all of this to say we didn't know what we were preparing for. So after we got through that part, by spring, the monies became available to help you with the businesses through the COVID. And we had to apply for these grants. You're going to apply for these grants. You're going to have a choice. You're going to get in here, and we're going to sit in here 3-4 hours, but we all going to apply for these grants. And this is why the documents were necessary. We didn't know, but she told us to get our documents together, and we did. We applied for the grants. Some were approved right away. Some weren't. And then some didn't believe that their business even qualified for this startup capital. Yet we still didn't know what we were getting into because majority of us never applied for grants unless you were going to, continue education, going to college or something. But we didn't know. So we had a lot of emotions. We was crying, we was smarting, we couldn't sleep. This sister get her money, but these 30 sisters didn't get any money. And this went on. But the thing about it was, did we all believe that our business would qualify?
I'm going to stop you right there because that was the biggest fight. Mm-hmm. The biggest fight was not the paperwork. The biggest fight was getting them to apply. And over the next few days in the Startup Capital Boot Camp, we're going to give you the link to apply for over $150, I think it's almost $157,000 in grants. But will you take that action? Because a lot of times we say as adults, we need somebody to hold us accountable. But in all actuality, your bank account is your accountability. If someone says that they're giving away money and that in order for you to receive it, you've got to do these 25 things, what would stop you from doing them? And even though we told you the story of sisterhood and freezers and toilet paper and having groceries, all of that information sharing is the same thing that empowers us to know about all these different grants. There's not a week that goes by that I don't get a link to 4 or 5 different grants from 4 or 5 different people. It is that flow of information that if you don't have somewhere to belong to, you get left out of that information. And the money is literally flowing over your head. It's just like COVID. There was toilet paper if you knew where to look. There was groceries if you knew where to look. Now, if you followed the masses and you went to Costco and Sam's into your regular grocery store, of course you weren't going to find any. Baby, we was going to the RV outlets. Because guess what you need in an RV? You need paper towels and you need toilet paper. You need cleaning supplies. We was going off the beaten path. We were going to restaurant depots. Because guess what? The restaurants are not open. So ding, ding, ding. The restaurant depot got plenty of meat, plenty of groceries. But it is that group think that makes us so powerful with these grants. So even when you have a list and you don't necessarily have anybody to vet, you know, or show this is my mission. I got a group next week. They got to come to class and we're going to work on their mission. Your ability to articulate your mission is critical, not just in grants, but in business, period. So do you know what to say to get the money? Do you know what to say in writing? Do you know what to submit? And all of it can be learned if you choose to get an education in money and understand that there's a whole nother set of money out there called startup capital. And it comes in about 10 or 12 different ways. And that if you don't know about it, you just don't know about it.
And that's the whole thing, the information. Information. And if you're not where, because you can't do it alone. And you can go out there. I could have just went and applied for these grants all willy-nilly and not have my documents in order and not even had a mindset to believe that I would get it and end up not getting it. I was one of the ones who didn't receive it at first. And I called Coach and I was in my feelings. She said, do it again. I don't want to do it again. It was too much. She said, do it again. And I did it. And I was awarded the monies. But without the money, I wouldn't have been able to continue my coaching. I wouldn't have been able, well, not the coaching because that was in place, but to expound on my business and get the technology without taking from my household. And that was the key thing. We were calling it free money. That you didn't have to take money out of the household to sustain your business. And once you have leadership, you have a coach or someone who can help you place it in the right areas to grow your business. So therefore we didn't miss a beat. We didn't miss a beat, but it starts with the mindset. You have to have the mind to believe that you're going to get it. This is what I really, really want. And be steadfast in getting your paperwork, your documents in order. Because if your I's not dotted and your T's aren't crossed, it's liable to just bounce back to you. This startup capital has done wonders for me to be able to not only sustain my business, but to build more products. Not only to just build my products, but to get automation. That's coming. All of these things that I would be concerned about because I didn't want to take it out my household money. I was blessed with the startup capital. But if you don't try, if you don't get the know-how, it's not going to happen.
And even understanding, guys, during this boot camp, we're going to even work to understand, where do you spend that money first? How do you give that money an assignment? How do you set up expectation that you're going to receive this money so that you can stay encouraged and get out there and apply? I can tell you that the more details they ask for, the less people apply.
Yeah, that's like a deterrent.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And a lot of people, if they say send a video, oh, I'm not going to send a video. Oh, send a presentation deck. I'm not going to send that. And there's more and more people fall off. And so it's just so many opportunities to grow your business. I will tell you this. If you think you're going to grow $1 million business and not invest, you think again. We're at a point where organic social media growth is not enough. You've got to have automation. You've got to have advertising campaigns. You've got to have marketing campaigns. There's some stuff that you got to have just to make you competitive. And if you don't have those things, then how are you going to compete with the people that do? So it's no longer about you have the best product. Back when Google first came out, and keep in mind, I've been out in these internet streets for a long time. Back when Google first came out, you could Google something and actually get the best answer. Now, when you Google something, the highest bidder is going to pop up. So even if you have the best answer and the best product, you may not show up on Google. People think it's as easy as getting a website and putting your products out there. Well, are your products priced right? Because if not, you're selling a bunch of cheap. Do you even know how to drive people to your website? If not, they're not going to just automatically come. This is not Field of Dreams. So Berlin is just one of the people that you're going to hear from. And I thought it was important to show you real people, because a lot of times people don't understand that everything we do is for people, especially in my brand. You're not just a number. I could just keep coaching people on how to build their profits. But because so many people were getting left out, I thought that it was critical during our 10th year anniversary that we stop and say, look, if you want to coach, there's money for coaching out there. If you need technology, and you're definitely going to need a coach to show you how to build it and what to do with it and when to get what and where to put what in place. But whatever you need, guys, is out there. But are you willing to go get it? How important is it for you to go get it? So I want to go ahead and open it up for questions. It's not a silver bullet, but I don't think anything is. If anybody tells you, come do this, and you're going to get a whole bunch of money, please knock them in their eye because they lying. Just dot them in the eye because they telling a bold-faced lie. It was so many tears and so much frustration and so many tries, but that did not stop the $1 million from coming. We go through more for less. If you've been in your business 2 or 3 years and you get to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you've gone through more for less. So we can't give up on this, especially not when you got companies out there literally running themselves over to offer us the opportunities to work with them, to offer us the opportunity to be funded by them, to offer us the opportunities to advertising run by them. It's just so much. It's definitely a lot. Questions, comments?
I don't see.
A lot of times, let me say this, Fernand. A lot of times people will disqualify themselves because they say, well, I ain't been in business that long, or I ain't made no money. Verlene, you want to talk about that?
Yes, because that was me. That was me. And it was like I was shooting myself in the foot before I even stood up. Before I even stood up for my business. I would say, that's my baby. It's my baby. It's going to grow. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But when it came to getting all the documents together, it can be intimidating. It can be overwhelming. And it was. It really, really was. But I can honestly tell you it was worth it. It was worth every tear. It was worth all the rejection. It was worth researching. It was worth going out getting my documents in line. It was worth it. And when I tell you we didn't miss a beat, we didn't. We did. And we steady launching over here.
Steady.
Steady launching.
And it don't stop, won't stop. Because, you know, if I can ever just get you guys that the money is immeasurable, that there are no limits to your earnings, there are no limits to your next level. You're limiting yourself by not getting in the right circles, by not having the right strategy, by not having somebody that's going to help you with your mindset. Because even if I give you the blueprint and I don't give you a mindset shift to let you know just how much money is floating around, you're not going to catch it. I was in a class the other night and I showed them the fastest way to $100,000. And when I finished, everybody was like, oh my God, not only number one, is $100,000 not a lot of money. Now, if the Lord give me $100,000 tomorrow, which I believe in God for, I'm not going to say, oh God, take this ain't no money. I'm saying in the scheme of things, they've made us feel like $100,000 is a whole lot of money. When in actuality, your business could obtain $100,000 in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It doesn't necessarily take you a year to obtain $100,000 in your business, but it's what are your goals? What are you believing for? And what are you executing towards? And so if you've never seen it, it does take a reconditioning of the mind in order to even open yourselves up for the opportunities. The mass amount of people that don't have startup capital is because they don't ask. And the mass amount of people that don't have profits in their business is because they don't do guerrilla marketing. They don't promote all the time. Inconsistent promotion is inconsistent profits. Inconsistent applications with startup capital is inconsistent returns. I mean, you get what you work for. So this boot camp is a reconditioning of your mind to let you know what's available out there. We start every night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we hope you will text somebody and invite them to join. Eureka said, I've already applied for 2 grants today, halfway through the 3rd application. And we hope that you'll invite people to join on this journey and not take it by yourself. We've got to be purveyors of good news. That's what Jesus was. Jesus was a purveyor of the gospel. And the gospel, the word itself, means good news. So are we telling people the good news? Are we telling people that there's money available, that they can join this boot camp, that they can get involved, that there's a whole nother money situation that they need to learn about? And because I learned about it, and we actually had a gentleman last night that was talking about on Clubhouse how he came out of federal prison and was able to get 17 or 18 million dollars in federal grants, even while he was on federal parole. You don't hear me, do you? So it's not about you or your background or anything else. He says 17 to 18 million dollars, even while he was on federal parole. It's not about you. It's this system. This system is designed for people that know the rules. Now, he did say he spent $20,000 back in 1995 to learn how to do this. So if I was to ask, a lot of times when you guys hear, when people ask me how much my program, and I say $15,000, $25,000, $50,000, and people say, oh my God, that's a lot of money. But you got to realize what you're asking for. You're asking for a livelihood. You're asking to be able to leave your job. You're asking to be able to create the revenue to sustain yourself. You're literally asking for a 7-figure strategy. And if you can't invest that level, then do you really want it? But I think the majority of people say, I don't have it, instead of let me go get it. It's all a point of view, guys. Half full or half empty. So I'm super excited about this. You're going to learn a lot over the next few days. And at the end, you're going to get an opportunity to really take your education to the next level. And I hope you'll take us up on that opportunity, because nothing changes until you change.
That's a hard lesson learned right there.
Nothing changes.
It work for just this area and not this area.
And we're always looking for somebody else to change. You want your husband to change. You want your kids to do better. You want your boss to change. You want all of these factors to change, but you haven't just taken a good look at the man in the mirror, like Michael say, and say, what is it that I need to change? Because all things start with you. All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Verlin. Thank you, guys. Super excited about the boot camp. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night.
Thank you, Coach.